Maya Rodriguez wiped the sweat from her forehead as she cleaned the last table of her shift. The old diner was finally empty, except for her and the cook washing dishes in the back. Her feet hurt from standing for 12 hours straight, and her uniform smelled like grease and coffee. But she had made good tips today, which meant she could buy her mother's medicine and still have enough left for groceries. She pulled out her phone to check the time. It was almost midnight. Lisa would be getting ready to go out soon for her birthday celebration. Maya felt tired and wanted nothing more than to go home and sleep. But she had promised her best friend she would come out tonight. Lisa had been planning this party for weeks and had bought Maya a new dress to wear. Maya walked to the small employee bathroom and looked at herself in the cracked mirror. Her dark hair was messy from running around all day, and she had dark circles under her brown eyes. She looked nothing like the girls who hung out at the fancy clubs Lisa liked to go to. Those girls had perfect makeup and expensive clothes, never had to work double shifts just to pay rent. 20 minutes later, Maya stood outside her small apartment building. She lived in a rundown neighborhood where most of the streetlights were broken. The paint was peeling off her building, and there was always trash scattered around the entrance. But it was all she could afford, and she was grateful to have a roof over her head. She climbed the 3 flights of stairs to the apartment. She shared with Lisa. Her roommate was already dressed in a tight red dress and high heels, putting on bright red lipstick in front of their only mirror. Maya, finally. "I thought you were going to bail on me," Lisa said, turning around with a big smile. "Go get ready. We're leaving in 30 minutes. Maya looked at the black dress Lisa had bought. It was shorter and tighter than anything she usually wore. "I don't know, Lisa. I'm really tired, and I have to work tomorrow morning, too. Come on, it's my birthday. Can't make me celebrate alone. Besides, when was the last time you had fun? All you do is work, work, work." Lisa grabbed Maya's hands. "Please, just for a few hours?" Maya sighed and picked up the dress. Lisa was right. She never went out anymore. Maybe one night of fun would not hurt. An hour later, they were at a downtown club called Electric. The music was so loud Maya could feel it in her chest. The place was packed with people dancing, drinking, and laughing. Lisa immediately ordered shots for both of them. "To my birthday," Lisa shouted over the music, raising her glass. Maya drank the shot and felt the alcohol burn her throat. She was not used to drinking. The last time she had alcohol was 6 months ago at Lisa's last party. Lisa kept ordering more drinks. Maya tried to keep up, but after the 4th shot, her head started spinning. The lights in the club seemed brighter, and everything felt fuzzy around the edges. "Lisa, I think I should slow down," Maya said, but her words came out slurred. Lisa was not listening. She was dancing with a tall guy with blonde hair who had been buying her drinks all night. As her friend laughed and flirted with the stranger, she felt alone in the crowded club. Maya stumbled to the bathroom and splashed cold water on her face. She looked at herself in the mirror and saw that her makeup was smudged and her hair was messy. She tried to fix it, but her hands were shaking. When she came back out, Lisa was nowhere to be found. Maya looked around the club, pushing through the crowd of dancing people. She checked the bar, the dance floor, and even went back to the bathroom. Lisa was gone. Maya pulled out her phone and tried to call Lisa, but it went straight to voicemail. She felt panic rising in her chest. How was she supposed to get home? She had spent her last $20 on cab fare to get to the club, expecting to share a ride home with Lisa. She walked outside into the cool night air and felt even more dizzy. The street was spinning, and she had to hold on to a lamppost to keep from falling. She tried calling Lisa again, but still no answer. Maya started walking in the direction of her apartment. It was a long way, but she did not have enough money for a cab. The alcohol made her feel brave and stupid at the same time. She decided to text Lisa and tell her exactly what she thought about being abandoned. She stopped under a streetlight and pulled out her phone. Her vision was blurry, but she found Lisa's name in her contacts and started typing. "Lisa, you are the worst friend ever. You left me alone at the club, and now I have to walk home by myself. I'm drunk and scared, and you don't even care. I hate you right now." She hit send and kept walking. A few minutes later, she stopped again and took a selfie. Her hair was messy, her makeup was smudged, and she looked angry. She sent it to Lisa. With another message, "Look how messed up I am because of you." The alcohol made her feel emotional and reckless. She kept taking pictures and sending them. Some showed her pouting face. Others showed her walking down the empty street. She sent voice messages too, complaining about Lisa and talking about how lonely she felt. "I work so hard every day and you know I never ask for anything. All I wanted was one fun night with my best friend, but you cared more about some random guy than me," she said into her phone before sending the message. Maya did not realize that in her drunken state, she had not been texting Lisa at all. When she had pulled up her contacts, her finger had slipped, and she had selected a different number. A number she had saved months ago, but never had the courage to use. Jake. Morrison was working late in his office when his phone started buzzing. He looked at the screen and saw messages from an unknown number. His heart stopped when he realized who it was. It was Maya, the sweet waitress from the diner where he ate lunch twice a week. He had been going to that diner for months, always, asking to sit in Maya's section. She was kind and hardworking, and she always remembered how he liked his coffee. Had gotten her number one day when she had written it on his receipt after he mentioned needing a good catering service for a work event. But he had been too nervous to text her, worried that she would think he was just another rich guy trying to bother her. Now she was texting him. From the messages and pictures, it was clear she was drunk and upset. Jake realized she thought she was texting someone else, probably a friend. He knew he should tell her she had the wrong number, but something stopped him. Maybe it was the way she looked so vulnerable in the photos, or maybe it was because this felt like his only chance to really talk to her. Jake stared at his phone screen, his heart beating fast. Maya had sent him 3 more pictures in the last 5 minutes. In one, she was sitting on a bus stop bench looking sad. In another, she was making a funny face with her tongue out. Third one showed her walking down a dark street with broken streetlights. He was worried about her safety. A young woman walking alone at night in that neighborhood was dangerous. Jake knew he should tell her she had the wrong number, but he also knew that would embarrass her. She was clearly very drunk and emotional. His phone buzzed again. This time, it was a voice message. "Lisa, I'm so tired of being poor. Do you know I haven't bought new clothes in 6 months? And Mrs. Garcia next door keeps asking when I'm going to find a nice boyfriend. But what guy would want someone like me? I work at a diner and live in a crappy apartment. I'm not pretty enough for successful guys." Jake's chest tightened as he listened to her sad voice. How could she think she was not pretty enough? Every time he saw her at the diner, she took his breath away. Her smile was genuine, and she was kind to every customer, even the rude ones. He had watched her help an elderly man with his food when his hands were shaking, and she had given free coffee to a homeless woman on a cold day. He decided to text her back, but he would pretend to be her friend Lisa. At least he could make sure she got home safely. "Hey, I'm sorry I left you. You okay? Where are you right now?" he typed. Maya's response came quickly. "I'm on Maple Street, walking home. My feet hurt so bad in these stupid shoes. Why did you leave me for that guy? I thought we were supposed to celebrate together." Jake knew Maple Street. It was in a bad part of town. He wanted to drive there and pick her up, but he knew that would give away his identity. "I'm really sorry I messed up. Can you get a cab?" "I'll pay you back tomorrow," he texted. "I don't have money for a cab. I spent everything getting to the club." "It's okay. I'm used to walking everywhere." Jake felt terrible. He quickly opened his banking app and sent money to Maya's account. He remembered her bank information from when she had given it to him for the catering job that never happened. "Check your phone. Sent you money for a cab. Please don't walk alone anymore tonight," he texted. Maya's phone chimed with a notification from her bank app. She looked at it with confusion. $200 had been transferred to her account. "Lisa, how did you send me money? And why? So much? A cab only costs $20? Jake realized his mistake. Lisa would not have Maya's bank information, and she certainly would not send that much money. "I have your bank info from when you helped me with something last month, and I sent extra because I feel bad about leaving you. Buy yourself something nice tomorrow, he quickly typed. Maya stopped walking and sat down on another bus stop bench. The alcohol was making her emotional, and she started crying. I'm sorry for being mean in my first messages. I was just scared and alone. She took another selfie, this one showing her teary face under the streetlight. Look, I'm crying now. He wished he could hold her and tell her everything would be okay. You're not a mess. You're beautiful and strong. Now please get that cab and go home. Text me when you're safe. Maya wiped her tears and stood up. She walked to the main street and called a cab. While she waited, she kept texting. Lisa, can I tell you something? There's this guy who comes too. The diner where I work is really handsome and always sits in my section. He wears expensive suits and drives a nice car. I think he might be some kind of businessman. He's always polite and leaves big tips, but I'm too scared to talk to him about anything except his order. Jake smiled as he read this. She had noticed. He probably leaves big tips because he likes you. Have you ever tried talking to him? He texted back. Are you crazy? Guys like that don't date girls like me. Probably has a beautiful girlfriend who went to college and wears designer clothes. I'm just the waitress who brings him coffee. Yeah, maybe you're wrong about that. Maybe he thinks you're amazing and he's just too nervous to say anything. Maya laughed out loud, even though she was still crying a little. Yeah, right. Rich guys are never nervous around girls like me. They know they can have anyone they want. The cab arrived and Maya got in. She gave the driver her address and leaned back in the seat. The car was warm and comfortable, and she felt safer now. I'm in the cab now. Thank you for sending the money. I'll pay you back when I get paid on Friday. Don't worry about paying me back. Just get home safe. During the 15-minute ride home, Maya kept texting. The alcohol made her say things she would never say when sober. Do you think I'll ever find someone who loves me? Not just likes me, but really loves me? Someone who doesn't care that I'm poor or that I didn't go to college? Jake typed and deleted several responses. Finally, he wrote, Yes, I think you will. Dan, when you do, he'll be the luckiest guy in the world. You always know what to say to make me feel better. Why, you're my best friend. Jake felt guilty about deceiving her, but he also felt closer to her than ever before. But the vulnerable, honest, beautiful woman underneath. I'm home now. Maya texted. Thank you for talking to me tonight. Even though you ditched me at the club, you helped me when I needed it most. I'm glad you're safe. Get some sleep. Tomorrow will be better. Maya climbed the stairs to her apartment and quietly opened the door. Lisa was not home yet. She probably went home with that guy from the club. Maya changed into her pajamas and washed her face. The cold water helped clear her head a little. She looked at her phone one more time and saw all the messages she had sent. Some of the pictures were embarrassing, but she was too tired to care. Lisa had seen her at her worst before. Good night, Lisa. Love you, even though you're a terrible friend sometimes. She texted with a laughing emoji. Good night, Maya. Sweet dreams. Jake replied. He sat in his office for a long time after that, looking at Maya's pictures and reading her messages over and over. He had learned more about her real feelings in one night than in months of brief conversations at the diner. Jake knew what he was doing was wrong, but he could not bring himself to stop. For the first time, Maya was talking to him, really talking to him, even if she did not know it was him. He made a decision that would change both their lives. He would not tell her about the mistake right away. He would keep pretending to be Lisa, at least for a little while. Maybe through these conversations, he could find a way to show her that he cared about her for who she really was, not just as a customer at a diner. Jake finally left his office and drove home to his expensive apartment across town. But his mind stayed with Maya in her small apartment, hoping she was sleeping peacefully and dreaming of better days ahead. Maya woke up the next morning with a terrible headache. The sunlight coming through her small window made her eyes hurt. She groaned and pulled her pillow over her head, trying to remember what had happened the night before. Slowly, the memories came back. The club, the drinks, Lisa disappearing with that guy, walking home alone. She remembered texting Lisa and being angry. But Lisa had been nice and even sent her money for a cab. Maya reached for her phone on the nightstand. and saw several missed calls from Lisa. There were also some text messages. Maya, where are you? I've been looking for you everywhere at the club. I'm so worried. Please call me back. I'm coming home now. Hope you're okay. Maya was confused. If Lisa had been looking for her at the club, then who had she been texting last night? She scrolled through her messages and felt her stomach drop. The number she had been texting was not Lisa's number. Oh no, oh no, oh no, Maya whispered too. Herself, sitting up in bed despite her headache. Just then, Lisa burst through the bedroom door. Her makeup was smudged, and she was still wearing her red dress from the night before. Maya, thank God you're okay. I was so scared when I couldn't find you. Looked everywhere for you at the club. Where did you go? Maya stared at her roommate. You were looking for me? But I thought you left with that guy. What guy? I mean, I was talking to Jake, but when I turned around to introduce you, you were gone. I spent 2 hours searching for you. I even called the police, but they said I had to wait 24 hours to file a missing person report.
Maya felt sick.
To her stomach. Lisa, show me your phone. Lisa handed over her phone, looking confused. Maya checked Lisa's messages. There were no texts from Maya after 10 p.m. the night before. Oh my God, Maya whispered. I texted the wrong person. What do you mean? Maya showed Lisa her phone. Look at these messages. I thought I was texting you, but this isn't your number. I was drunk and angry, and I sent all these embarrassing pictures and messages to some random person. Lisa's eyes grew wide as she read the messages. Maya, some of these pictures are really personal. And you told this person all about your money problems and your feelings about that guy from the diner. Maya felt tears starting to form in her eyes. I know. I'm so embarrassed. What if it's someone I know? What if they show these pictures too? Other people? Whose number is this? Lisa asked, looking at the contact information. Maya looked at the number more carefully. It seemed familiar, but she could not place it. I don't know. I must have it saved from somewhere, but I can't remember where. Lisa sat down on the bed next to Maya. Well, whoever it is, they seemed nice. They sent you money to get home safely, and said sweet things to make you feel better. But they were pretending to be you. They lied to me. Maybe they were just trying to help. If some drunk girl started texting me by mistake, I might play along too if I thought she was in danger. Maya was not convinced. She felt violated and embarrassed. A complete stranger had seen her at her most vulnerable moment and had pretended to be her best friend. I need to text them and apologize, Maya said. What are you going to say? Maya thought for a moment, then started typing. I'm sorry for texting you by mistake last night. I was drunk and thought you were someone else. Please delete all the pictures and messages I sent. I'm very embarrassed. She hit send and waited. A few minutes later, her phone buzzed with a reply. Don't be embarrassed. You don't need to apologize. I was just glad I could help you get home safely. Maya stared at the message. The person's response was kind, but it did not make her feel better. She felt exposed and foolish. Meanwhile, across town, Jake was sitting in his office reading Maya's apology message. His heart sank. He had been hoping to continue their conversations, maybe even find a way to reveal his identity slowly. But Maya was clearly upset about the mistake. Nick Davis, Jake's assistant and best friend, knocked on the office door and walked in. You look terrible, Nick said. Did you sleep at all last night? Jake showed Nick his phone. Remember that waitress I told you about? The one from the diner? The one you've been in love with for months, but are too scared to ask out? She texted me by mistake last night. She was drunk and thought I was her friend. We talked for hours. Nick read some of the messages and looked at Jake with surprise. Jake, this is crazy. You were pretending to be her friend. I was trying to help her. She was alone and scared, walking through a bad neighborhood at night. Home safely. But you lied to her. I know it was wrong, but Nick, I learned so much about her. She's even more amazing than I thought. She's funny and honest and strong, and she talked about me. What did she say? Jake showed Nick the messages where Maya had talked about the businessman who came to the diner. She notices me, she thinks. I'm handsome, but she's convinced I would never be interested in someone like her. Nick shook his head. Jake, You have to tell her the truth. This is going to blow up in your face if you don't. I know, but I'm scared. What if she hates me? What if she thinks I was making fun of her? What if she finds out some other way? That would be even worse. Jake looked at his phone again. Maya had sent another message. Can you please tell me who you are? I have your number saved in my phone, but I can't remember where I got it. Jake's hands shook as he typed his response. I'm someone who cares about you. That's all that matters. Maya read the message and felt frustrated. It's not an answer. I have a right to know who I was talking to. You're right. I'm not ready to tell you yet. I hope you can understand. Maya showed the messages to Lisa. This is so weird. Won't they tell me who they are? Lisa thought for a moment. Maybe it's someone you know. Maybe they're embarrassed too. But who? I don't have that many numbers in my phone. Maya decided to go through her contacts one by one. She had about 50 numbers saved. Most of them were family members, co-workers, or friends from high school. But there were a few numbers she could not identify. One of them was labeled Catering Jake, and Maya stared at the name. She remembered now. A few months ago, a customer at the diner had asked about catering services for his office. She had given him her number in case he needed help organizing it, but he had never called. Lisa, I think I know who it is, Maya said quietly. Who, remember I told you about that businessman who comes to the diner? The one I have a crush on. I think it might be him. Lisa's eyes grew wide. Are you serious? The rich guy you're always talking about? Maya felt a mix of horror and excitement. If it was really Jake from the diner, then he had seen her drunk messages and embarrassing pictures. But he had also been kind to her and helped her get home safely. More importantly, he had been talking to her for hours. Not just taking her order or making small talk, but really talking. And he had said sweet things to make her feel better. Are you going to do? Lisa asked. Maya looked at her phone. She had two choices. She could confront him directly, or she could keep pretending she did not know who he was and see what happened. I don't know, Maya said. I need to think about this. But deep down, Maya already knew what she was going to do. She was going to find out the truth, no matter how embarrassing it might be. She deserved to know who had been pretending to be. Her best friend Jake was about to find out that his secret was not as safe as he thought. Maya spent the whole weekend thinking about the mystery texter. Every time she looked at the name Catering Jake M in her phone, her heart beat faster. She remembered the businessman from the diner clearly now. Tall, dark hair, kind eyes, expensive suits. He always ordered black coffee and a turkey sandwich. He always said please and thank you. He always left a $20 tip on a $15 meal. Monday morning came too quickly. Maya got dressed in her uniform and walked to the diner, her stomach full of butterflies. She kept telling herself she might be wrong. Maybe it was not him. Maybe it was some other Jake. The morning rush was busy and Maya tried to focus on her work. But every time the door opened, she looked up to see if it was him. Jake usually came in on Tuesdays and Thursdays around noon, but Maya found herself watching for him anyway. Tuesday arrived, and Maya was more nervous than she had ever been in her life. She had barely slept the night before, going over different scenarios in her head. What would she say to him? How would she bring it up? What if he denied it? At 11:45 a.m., Maya was refilling salt shakers when she heard the door chime. She looked up and saw him walking in. Jake Morrison, tall and handsome in his dark blue suit. Her hands started shaking. Jake walked to his usual table in Maya's section and sat down. He picked up the menu, but Maya could see his hands were shaking too. He looked nervous, which was unusual for him. Maya took a deep breath and walked over to his table.
Good morning.
Can I start you with some coffee? Yes, please. Black coffee, Jake said, not meeting her eyes. Maya poured his coffee and set it down in front of him. Are you ready to order, or do you need a few more minutes? I'll have the turkey sandwich, please. Maya wrote down his order, then stood there. For a moment, Jake looked up at her, and their eyes met. Maya felt her cheeks turn red. Is everything okay? Jake asked softly. Maya's heart was pounding. It was now or never. Can I ask you something? Of course. Do you have my phone number? Jake's face went pale. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. Maya sat down in the chair across from him, something she had never done before. It was you, wasn't it? You were the one I texted Saturday night. Jake looked around the diner. Other customers were eating and talking, not paying attention to them. He looked back at Maya and nodded. Slowly, yes, he whispered. It was me. Maya felt a rush of different emotions all at once. Embarrassment, anger, confusion, and something else she could not name. Why didn't you tell me? She asked, her voice getting louder. Why'd you pretend to be Lisa? I can explain. Explain what? That you thought it was funny to trick me? That you enjoyed reading my drunk messages and looking at my embarrassing pictures? Other customers were starting to look at them now. Jake noticed and tried to keep his voice low. Maya, please let me explain. It wasn't like that. But Maya was too hurt and angry to listen. All the embarrassment and shame she had been feeling for 3 days came pouring out. You saw me at my worst moment and you lied to me. You let me tell. You all my personal problems, all my insecurities, all my fears. You know things about me that I've never told anyone, and you got that information by lying. I was trying to help you help me. Maya stood up, and her voice got even louder. You sent me money? You have my bank information. How's that helping? That's just showing off how rich you are. By now, everyone in the diner was staring at them. Maya's boss, Mr. Garcia, came out from behind the counter. Maya, what's going on here? He asked. Maya realized she was making a scene, but she was too upset to care. This man has been lying to me and tricking me. Jake stood up too. Maya, please, can we talk about this somewhere private? No. I don't want to talk to you anywhere. I trusted you, and you made me look like a fool. Mr. Garcia looked confused and angry. Maya, you need to calm down. You're disturbing the other customers. I don't care about the other customers. This man, Maya, either you calm down right now, or you can go home for the day, Mr. Garcia warned. Maya looked around the diner. Everyone was staring at her. Some people had their phones out, probably recording the whole thing. She felt humiliated. Fine. I'll go home. Maya untied her apron and threw it on the table. And I quit. She stormed toward the door, but Jake followed her. Maya, wait. She spun around to face him. Stay away from me. Please, just let me explain why I did it. I know why you did it. Because you think poor people are entertaining. You think it's funny to watch us struggle and make fools of ourselves. That's not true. Yes, it is. You're just like all rich people. You think you can buy anything, including people's feelings? Well, you can't buy me. Jake felt his heart breaking. Maya, I care about you. I've cared about you for months. That's why I come here twice a week. It's why I sit in your section. It's why I leave big tips. I was hoping you would notice that you what? What? You like me? Well, congratulations. You found a really twisted way to show it. Tears were running down Maya's face now. You want to know what hurts the most? For a few hours that night, I felt like someone actually cared about me. Someone was listening to me and saying nice things to make me feel better. But it was all fake. You were just playing a game. It wasn't fake, Jake said desperately. Everything I said to you was real. My feelings are real. Your feelings? Maya laughed bitterly. What feelings? Pity? Amusement? You feel sorry for? The poor little waitress, so you decided to play pretend. I love you, Jake said quietly. Maya stopped crying and stared at him. What did you say? I said I love you. I've been in love with you for months. I was too scared to tell you because I knew you would think exactly what you're thinking now. I'm just some rich guy who wants to play with your feelings. Maya shook her head. You don't love me? You don't even know me. I know you work 2 jobs to pay for your mother's medicine. I know you give free coffee to homeless people when your boss isn't looking. I know you're afraid that you're not good enough for successful men, but you're wrong. You're the most amazing person I've ever met. You only know those things because you've tricked me into telling you. You're right, and I'm sorry. I know I messed up. But Maya, I was falling in love with you long before that night. Those messages just made me love you more. Maya wiped her tears with the back of her hand. It doesn't matter. You lied to me. You violated my trust. How could I ever believe anything you say now? Jake reached into his wallet and pulled out a business card. This is who I am. Jake Morrison, CEO of Morrison Tech. I make good money, yes, but that doesn't make me a bad person. I've been trying to help you in small ways for months. Had my assistant make sure you got the best shifts here. I anonymously paid some of your mother's medical bills. I did those things because I care about you, not because I want to control. Maya stared at the business card. You've been manipulating my life without me knowing? I was trying to help. Stop saying that. I don't need your help. I don't need your money. I don't need your pity. Maya threw the business card on the ground. Stay away from me, Jake Morrison. Don't come to this diner anymore. Don't text me anymore. Don't try to help me anymore. I never want to see you again. She turned and walked away, leaving Jake standing alone outside the diner. He picked up his business card from the sidewalk and watched her disappear around the corner. Inside the diner, Mr. Garcia was telling the other waitresses that Maya no longer worked there. Jake realized that Maya's outburst had cost her the job she desperately needed. He had tried to show Maya that he loved her, but instead he had made everything worse. Now she hated him. She had no job. He had no idea how to fix the mess he had created. Jake got in his car and drove back to his office. But he could not stop thinking about the look of betrayal in Maya's eyes. He had lost her before he ever really had her, and it was all his own fault. 3 weeks passed after the fight at the diner. Maya had not found another job yet. She'd applied to 12 different restaurants and cafes, but none of them called her back. Word had spread about her seen at Garcia's diner and other employers. Were worried she might cause drama at their businesses, too. Maya's savings were almost gone. She had enough money for 1 more week of rent, and her mother's medicine was running low. She spent her days walking around the city, filling out job applications and trying not to panic at night. She lay in bed thinking about Jake. She was still angry about what he had done, but she could not stop remembering the things he had said. How he claimed he loved her. How he had been coming to the diner just to see her. How he had tried to help her without her knowing. Lisa tried to convince her to call Jake, but Maya was too proud and too hurt. Maya, you're being stubborn, Lisa said one evening as they shared a dinner of ramen noodles. The guy clearly cares about you. He lied to me, Lisa. How can I trust someone who starts a relationship with lies? Maybe he lied because he was scared. Rich guys probably have a hard time knowing if girls like them for their money or for who they are. Maya had not thought about it that way before, but she was still too angry to admit Lisa might be right. Meanwhile, Jake was miserable. He could not eat or sleep properly. Nick had tried to cheer him up by setting him up on dates with other women, but Jake was not interested. He only wanted Maya. You have to do something, Nick said during their weekly lunch meeting. You can't. Just give up. She made it clear she never wants to see me again. I have to respect that. But she lost her job because of what happened. Don't you feel responsible? Jake did feel responsible. He'd been thinking about it every day. Maya was probably struggling to pay her bills, and it was his fault. What am I supposed to do? If I try to help her, she'll just think I'm trying to buy her forgiveness? Maybe you need to offer her something that's not about money. Something that shows you respect her as an equal. That afternoon, Jake had an idea. His company needed someone to manage their customer service department. It was a real job that required skills Maya had from working in restaurants. She was good. With people, she could handle difficult situations. And she was responsible. But he knew if the job offer came from him, Maya would never accept it. So Jake asked his human resources manager, Mrs. Kelly, to post the job opening and interview candidates. He did not tell her about Maya specifically. 2 days later, Lisa saw the job posting online and showed it to Maya. Look at this. Customer service manager at Morrison Tech. The pay is really good, and they want someone with restaurant experience. Maya looked at the posting. Morrison Tech. Jake's company. I can't apply there, Lisa. Why not? It's perfect for you, 'cause it's his company. He'll think I'm trying to use him to get a job. So what? You need a job? And this one fits your experience? Besides, it's a big company. You might never even see him. Maya thought about it for 2 days. Finally, her pride lost to her practical needs. She could not afford to turn down a good job opportunity. Just because she was angry at the CEO, she submitted her application online and was surprised when Mrs. Kelly called her the next day for an interview. We've reviewed your application, Miss Rodriguez, and we'd like to meet with you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Maya borrowed a nice dress from Lisa and practiced answering interview questions. She was nervous, but she was also excited. This was exactly the kind of job she had always wanted, but never thought she could get. The next day, Maya arrived at Morrison Tech's downtown office building. It was tall and modern, with glass walls and expensive-looking furniture in the lobby. Maya felt intimidated, but she reminded herself that she deserved to be there. Mrs. Kelly interviewed Maya in a conference room on the 15th floor. She was a kind woman in her 50s who made Maya feel comfortable right away. "Tell me about your experience in customer service," Mrs. Kelly said. Maya talked about her years working at the diner, how she handled difficult customers, how she solved problems, how she always tried to make people feel welcome. Mrs. Kelly seemed impressed. "You have exactly the kind of experience we're looking for. When could you start?" Maya could not believe it. "You mean I got the job?" "Yes, if you want it. Salary is $50,000 a year, plus health insurance, and 2 weeks of vacation time." Maya felt tears in her eyes. It was more money than she had ever made in her life. "Yes, I want it." "Thank you so much. Wonderful. You can start Monday morning. I'll give you a tour of the office and introduce you to your team." Mrs. Kelly showed Maya around the building. The customer service department was on the 10th floor, far from the executive offices where Jake worked. Maya was relieved. She really could work here without running into him. As they walked through the office, Maya noticed how nice everyone seemed. The employees looked happy, and Mrs. Kelly explained that the company had good benefits and treated workers well. "Mr. Morrison believes in taking care of his employees," Mrs. Kelly said. "He says that happy workers do better work." If Jake had always been a good boss, or if learning about her struggles had made him think more about how working people lived, on Friday evening, Maya's first week at her new job was ending. She loved the work. Her co-workers were friendly. She felt proud to be earning good money through her own skills and effort. As she was packing up her desk to go home, Mrs. Kelly approached her. "Maya, Mr. Morrison would like to see you in his office." "Don't worry, you're not in trouble. Just likes to welcome new employees personally." Maya's heart started racing. She had managed to avoid Jake all week, but now she had to face him. She took the elevator to the 20th floor and walked to Jake's office. His secretary told her to go right in. Jake was standing by the window looking out at the city. He turned around when Maya entered, and she saw that he looked tired. He had dark circles under his eyes, and he seemed to have lost weight. "Hello, Maya. Please, sit down." Maya sat in the chair across from his desk, but Jake remained standing. "I want you to know that I had nothing to do with you getting this job," Jake said. "Mrs. Kelly hired you based on your qualifications. I didn't even know you had applied until after you were already hired." Maya was surprised by his honesty. "Then why did you want to see me?" "'Cause I owe you an apology. A real one, not the desperate explanations I gave you at the diner." Jake sat down across from her. "What I did was wrong. I violated your privacy and your trust. I told myself I was helping you, but really I was being selfish. I wanted to talk to you, and I used your mistake as an excuse." Maya listened without saying anything. "I also want you to know that I'm not going to bother you here at work. This is your job, your space. You earned it, and you deserve to feel safe and comfortable here." "Thank you," Maya said quietly. Jake reached into his desk drawer and pulled out an envelope. "This is my resignation letter. I'm stepping down as CAO and moving to our London office. You won't have to worry about running into me." Maya stared at him in shock. "You're leaving because of me?" "I'm leaving because it's the right thing to do. You should be able to work and live your life without having to deal with me." For the first time since their fight, Maya felt sorry for Jake instead of angry at him. He was giving up his whole life in this city because he had hurt her. "Jake, you don't have to leave." "Yes, I do. Maya, I meant what I said before. I do love you. But love means wanting what's best for the other person, even if it hurts you. What's best for you is for me to stay out of your life." Maya looked at Jake's tired face and realized something. His feelings for her were real. A man did not give up his career and move to another country just to play games with someone. What if I don't want you to stay out of my life? Maya asked. Softly, Jake looked up in surprise. What do you mean? I mean, what if I've spent these 3 weeks missing you? What if I've been thinking about those messages we sent and how you made me feel cared for and understood? What if I've realized that maybe your reasons for lying were not as bad as I thought they were? Maya, ... I'm still hurt about the lying. It's going to take time for me to get over. But I've also realized that you saw me at my worst moment and still thought I was worth loving. That means something. Jake felt his heart starting to beat faster. Are you saying you might be willing to give me another chance? I'm saying maybe we could start over? Properly this time. No lies, no pretending, no hiding who we are. Maya stood up and walked around the desk to where Jake was sitting. Hi, I'm Maya Rodriguez. I'm the new customer service manager. I like romantic comedies. I put too much sugar in my coffee, and I'm probably going to need help learning how to date someone who's rich because I've never done it before. Jake smiled for the first time in weeks. He stood up and shook her hand. Hi, I'm Jake Morrison. I'm probably going to need a new job since I just resigned from this one. I like action movies. I drink my coffee black, and I'm probably going to need help learning how to date someone as amazing as you because I've never been this lucky before. Maya laughed. Maybe we can figure it out together. I'd like that very much. Jake pulled his resignation letter out of Maya's hands and tore it up. I guess I'm not moving to London after all. Good, Maya said, because I was just starting to like this job. They stood there smiling at each other. 6 months later, Maya was sitting at her desk in the customer service department reviewing the monthly reports. Her team had improved customer satisfaction by 30% since she started, and she felt proud of what they had accomplished. Together, her phone buzzed with a text message from Jake. Lunch today? I found a new place that makes amazing sandwiches. Maya smiled as she typed back. Only if you promise not to leave a $50 tip on a $10 meal. I make no such promises, Jake replied with a laughing emoji. Their relationship had been slow and careful. They had gone on their first real date 2 weeks after their conversation in Jake's office. Jake had picked Maya up at her apartment and taken her to a small Italian restaurant in her neighborhood. He had worn jeans and a simple shirt instead of his usual expensive suits, and Maya had worn a dress she bought with her first paycheck from Morrison Tech. The first month of dating had been awkward. Maya was constantly worried that other people thought she was with Jake for his money. Jake was constantly worried that Maya felt pressured to be with him because he was her boss's boss. They had their first big fight. 6 weeks into their relationship, Jake had surprised Maya with expensive jewelry for her birthday, and Maya had gotten angry. I told you I don't want expensive gifts, Maya had said. And it makes me feel like you're trying to buy my love. I wasn't trying to buy anything, Jake had replied. I just wanted to give you something beautiful because you mean everything to me. Don't you see how this looks? I'm your employee, you're the CEO, and now you're giving me jewelry that costs more than I make in a month. They had talked for hours that night. Jake finally understood that Maya needed to feel like an equal partner, not someone being taken care of. Maya understood that Jake had grown up wealthy and giving expensive gifts was how his family showed love. They found a compromise. Jake could give Maya thoughtful gifts, but they had to be things she could afford to give him back. Maya could accept Jake's help with big things like her mother's medical bills, but only if she could contribute something too, even if it was just her time or skills. The compromise was working. For Maya's birthday, Jake had given her a small necklace with a heart pendant that cost $50. Maya had given Jake a photo album she made herself, filled with pictures of their dates and handwritten notes about what each moment meant. To her, Jake said it was the best gift he had ever received. Now, 6 months later, they had found their rhythm. They saw each other 3 or 4 times a week. Sometimes they went to fancy restaurants in Jake's world, and sometimes they ate at small diners in Maya's neighborhood. Jake was learning to appreciate simple pleasures, and Maya was learning that expensive did not always mean pretentious. Maya finished her work for the day and took the elevator up to Jake's office. His secretary, Mrs. Patterson, smiled when she saw Maya. He's on a conference call, but he should be done in a few minutes, Mrs. Patterson said. How's your mother doing? Much better, thank you. The new treatment is really helping. Maya had been surprised to learn that all of Jake's employees knew about her and their relationship. She had been worried that people would gossip or think badly of her, but everyone had been supportive. Jake had been honest with his staff about their situation, and he had made it clear that Maya's job performance was excellent regardless of their personal relationship. Jake's office door opened, and he walked out looking tired. He had been working long hours on a new product launch. Ready for lunch? He asked Maya. Ready? But you look exhausted. Are you okay? Just busy. The new software launch is next week, and there are still some bugs we need to fix. They walked out to the new sandwich shop Jake had discovered. It was a small place run by an elderly couple, and the food was delicious and cheap. Jake had started preferring places like this to the expensive restaurants he used to frequent. As they ate, Maya noticed that Jake seemed distracted. What's really bothering you? She asked. Jake sighed. I got a call from my parents this morning. They want to meet you. Maya's stomach dropped. Oh. Jake's parents lived in New York and were very wealthy. Jake had told Maya stories about his childhood, private schools, country clubs, charity galas. His parents had very specific ideas about what kind of woman their son should marry. Been putting them off for months, but they're coming to visit next weekend. They want to take us to dinner at the Ritz. Maya put down her sandwich. Jake, I don't think I'm ready for that. I know it's scary, but they're going to love you. Are they? I didn't go to college. I grew up poor. I work in customer service. You're smart and kind and strong. Those are the things that matter. Maya was not convinced. What if they think I'm not good enough for you? What if they think I'm just after your money? Jake reached across the table and took Maya's hand. Then they'll be wrong, and I'll tell them so. But they're your parents. I don't want to cause problems between you and your family. Maya, look at me. Jake waited until Maya met his eyes. I love you. Not my parents, not my friends, not anyone else gets to decide who I love. If they can't accept you, that's their problem, not yours. Maya felt tears starting to form. Even after 6 months, she sometimes could not believe that someone like Jake really loved her. What if I embarrass you? I don't know how to act at fancy restaurants. I don't know what fork to use or how to talk to rich people. Jake smiled. Do you want to know a secret? Half the time I don't know which fork to use either. Rich people are just regular people with more money. They're not smarter or better than anyone else. It's easy for you to say you grew up with them. And you know what I learned growing up with them? Most of them are boring. They talk about the same things all the time. Money, status, who's dating who. You're more interesting than any of them. Maya squeezed Jake's hand. Okay, I'll do it. But you have to promise me something. Anything. Promise me that no matter what happens, no matter what they say, you'll be honest with me about how you feel. Don't pretend everything is fine if it's not. I promise. They finished lunch and walked back to the office building. As they waited for the elevator, Jake's phone rang. It was Nick. Jake, we have a problem with the software. Can you come back up to the tech department? Jake looked at Maya apologetically. Have to go deal with this. Go. I'll see you tonight for dinner. Jake kissed Maya goodbye and headed to the elevator that went to the tech floors. Maya took the regular elevator down to her department. As she worked through the afternoon, Maya thought about meeting Jake's parents. She was terrified, but she was also determined not to let fear control her life anymore. 6 months ago, she had been afraid to believe that Jake could really love her. She had almost lost him because of that fear. Now, she knew that Jake loved her for who she really was. He had seen her drunk and embarrassing and vulnerable, and he had still chosen her. He had given up his plan to move to London just to make her feel comfortable. He had learned to eat at cheap restaurants and shop at regular stores, because those things mattered to her. If Jake's parents could not see what their son saw in her, that was their loss. Aya was not going to pretend to be someone else to impress. Then that evening, Jake came to Maya's apartment for dinner. Maya had cooked spaghetti with homemade sauce, and they ate while watching a comedy movie on Maya's small television. I've been thinking about this weekend, Maya said during a commercial break. And I've decided that I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to try to act like someone I'm not. If your parents don't like the real me, then we'll deal with that. When it happens, Jake smiled and pulled Maya closer to him on the couch. That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. But I want to buy a new dress for dinner, something nice that makes me feel confident. We can go shopping this weekend before they arrive. I'm paying for my own dress, Maya said firmly. I know, but I'm still coming with you because I like spending time with you, and I want to see you try on pretty dresses. Maya laughed. Deal. As they settled back to watch the rest of the movie, Maya felt more confident about the future than she ever had before. She and Jake had built something real together, something based on honesty and respect and genuine love. Whatever challenges came next, they would face them together. Outside Maya's window, the city lights twinkled like stars. Inside her small apartment, Maya felt like the luckiest woman in the world. Not because she was dating a rich man, but because she was loved by a good man who saw her true worth, and that, Maya thought as Jake's arm tightened around her, was worth more than all the money in the world.